Hello everyone! In today's class, we will be discussing fractions and exploring the different types of fractions that exist in mathematics. These are proper and improper fractions. We will provide you with the lowdown on what is referred to as a proper fraction and what this fraction signifies. But initially, let's simply jot down fractions and have a conversation about what distinguishes one type of fraction from another type of fraction. Alright, I will jot down the upcoming fractions. 3/5 will be included. One more fraction, 2/4. Moving on, we have another fraction coming up in the next part, 3/6. The next fraction is 3/3 and another fraction is 4/4. In total, there are 3 fractions, 3/6, 3/3, and 4/4. Each fraction represents a distinct part of a whole. Let us commence a chat and strive to split these fractions into 2 separate parts while engaging in a conversation. By what criteria are we going to divide these fractions into 2 parts? So some of the fractions will be called proper fractions while others will be called improper fractions. So what do we do in this case? We do not have any knowledge, we lack information about the definition of these fractions, we are unaware of how to reason, But let's still attempt to divide these fractions into 2 separate parts. Here's what I'd like to draw your attention to. We ain't going to be reducing no fractions, we're just going to be looking at numbers. So we'll be comparing, I'll give you a hint, numerators and denominators. Alright, let's take a look at the fraction 3/5. So this is an individual fraction that I will work with. What can I possibly say about it? In the numerator, I have the number 3, and in the denominator, I have the number 5. So what can I observe? Therefore, I observed that the numeral 3 is smaller in magnitude than the numeral 5. What can I say in response to this observation that I have made? What 3, that is the numerator, is less than the denominator for me? Moving on, let's examine the next fraction. 4th, and in this fraction, my top number is smaller than the bottom number in the numerator and denominator. The number 2 is less than 4. Moving on, we have a fraction which is 3/6. 3 out of 6. Once again, the number on the top, numerator, is smaller than the number on the bottom, denominator. Coming up next, we have a fraction. The duration of the segment is 3 seconds. So what do I have in this particular case? I have a numerator of 3 and a denominator of 2. Consequently, 3 is a larger quantity for me compared to a deuce, which is only 2. That's fantastic. So, could you please explain to me what exactly this fraction is? I'm a bit confused. It seems to be 4/4. Here I have the numerator equal to the denominator. So what can I say? I can inform you that there exist fractions in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Exercise caution, as he possesses a smaller stature in relation to the denominator. There are fractions where the numerator is greater than the denominator, but in this case, my numerator is equal to the denominator. So individuals, it transpires that if the numerator is smaller in value than the denominator, then these fractions are referred to as proper fractions. And if the numerator is greater than the denominator, or the numerator is equal to the denominator, then in this case, these fractions are called improper fractions. So the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Numerator is larger than denominator. It is more or equal. Then we have the ability to devise a few fresh guidelines or principles. Therefore, in the event that I have a fraction, it is a means of representing a number as a numerator. I will proceed to write it down accordingly. This is a significant matter for me, and you are fully aware of it. And in the case where my numerator is less than the denominator, the fraction is referred to as a proper fraction. And in the event that my numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator, then in this particular situation, the fraction is referred to as an improper fraction. Here is a very simple method to divide fractions into proper and improper fractions. All right, guys, today we learned about proper and improper fractions. Of course, in the next lesson, we'll be going over specific examples together, but for today, that's all I've got. Goodbye, until we meet again.